I've been a big fan of the Metal Gear Solid franchise since it came onto PS Plus in October 2017. This game was amazing. I loved the base management, the story and the gameplay, allowing us to tackle objectives any way we like. Since then I've been in love with the games and the goofiness Kojima puts into them. Big Boss and his sons were amazing characters. I love Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. Though there was one character I loved more than them, Venom Snake, Big Boss's Phantom, the one we play through during the events of the Phantom Pain. When I first played through MGSV and found out we didn't play as the real Big Boss, I was a bit bummed. I wasn't an MGS nerd, but I did my research while I was playing the game, learned about Big Boss and Solid Snake, so when I finished it I probably had the same reaction as everyone else. But now, after 9-10 years, I've understood more of the story and the character motivations, and I've come to realise that Venom Snake is, in my opinion, the best Snake, aside from Solid Snake of course, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I think Venom Snake's an amazing character. So what are my reasons? First, I just love for his soldiers. After the events of Ground Zeroes and after the 9-year coma, the real Big Boss just leaves. Everything he built in Peace Walker, MSF, the relationship with his soldiers all gone. He didn't show any remorse or revenge to Skullface or Huey, but Venom Snake did. He and Miller go on their journey to hell, drunk on revenge to kill Skullface. One of the most touching moments is in the mission Shining Lights Even in Death. After another outbreak of the vocal cord parasite, Venom Snake goes in alone to contain the damage. He slowly makes his way up to the top of the building where he's forced to stop his infected men from going outside. At first he tries to stop them without using his gun, but then as more run past him he's forced to shoot them and Miller's then forced to bomb the top of the building to stop them. Afterwards we're forced to kill our own men and women. We slowly walk through putting them out of their misery. Nearing the end, our own soldiers salute as we pull the trigger. Afterwards Snake is left alone with the guilt of killing his own men. He walks down the corridor slowly as it becomes a demon snake. Lastly, during the process, rather than scattering them at sea, he firstly eats their ashes and spreads them on his face, which is a bit weird, but it goes to show how much he cares about Diamond Dogs. The real Big Boss never did anything close to what Venom did, to remember his fallen soldiers. All the work he did to build MSF during Peace Walker, for it all to come down a year later. During the truth tapes, the real Big Boss never expressed any remorse or guilt. My second reason as to why I like Venom Snake is because of who he is. Solid, Liquid and Solidus are all clones of Big Boss. Venom Snake's an ordinary man, he's got no blood relation to Big Boss. He was just another soldier in MSF, and according to Big Boss, in the truth tapes, he was the best man they had. What I love about the MGS games are the themes they convey. Each game has its own theme. In the first game it's Gene, in Metal Gear Solid 2 it's Meme, in Snake Eater it's Scene, in Guns of the Patriots it's Sense, in Peace Walker it's Peace, and in the Phantom Pain it's Race and Revenge. A theme I think of is what it means to be a soldier, to be like Solid Snake, to be like Big Boss. In Metal Gear Solid 2 we play as Raiden, and play through the events of the Big Shell. What I love is that it's basically a recreation of the Shadow Moses incident from the first game. Later it's revealed it's called the S3 plan, a way to create a soldier like Snake, I guess through real world experiences rather than through training. Raiden has barely any experience at the start of the game, and by the end he and Snake celebrate after taking down Arsenal Kid and Solidus. The reason I'm talking about this is because I feel like that theme is in Metal Gear Solid 5, what it means to be Big Boss and what it means to have the title. The real Big Boss gains his title after the events of Snake Eater, becoming disillusioned with the US. Venom Snake gained his title after being forced to be his body double, having surgery to look like him and going through induced hypnagogia to think and act like the real Big Boss. Even though Zero and without his consent, the real Big Boss forced him into this role, it still shows that Venom Snake is the best Snake. He's essentially an amnesiac, forced to live as Big Boss, though he still has his love for his soldiers and still has their unwavering loyalty to him. What makes Venom Snake so unique to all the other snakes is that he barely talks. In the interviews leading up to MGSV, Kojima speaks on why he barely speaks. If I remember correctly, it's about us players interpreting Big Boss's feelings, because in a way, we are Big Boss. As we are told in the truth tapes, Venom Snake went through mental procedures to have the memories of the real Big Boss, but what makes it interesting is that Venom Snake barely reacts to things from the past. We later find out that the man on fire is Volgin, and when Volgin realises that it's not the real Snake, he dies because he was only fueled by his revenge for him. After we extract him back to the quarantine platform, Ocelot makes comment on Volgin, but Snake doesn't. Even with the memories of Big Boss from the events of Snake Eater till now, he doesn't make comment on Volgin. He doesn't even react like he was his enemy. He treats Volgin as another enemy in the moment, and afterwards he just forgets and moves on.
I barely recognize you, Colonel. Skullface used your thirst for revenge against Big Boss, did he?
I saw this Reddit reply from the MGS subreddit from Jason Wanderer. I like what he said here. He has Naked Snake's memories but doesn't have the feelings attached to the memories. Probably because the hypnotherapy wasn't perfect, which I like to think that it led to him having some sort of dissociative identity disorder. He's got his memories, but he's also got the memories of the real Big Boss, which alter and mix. This is actually shown in the cutscene with Paz on the medical platform. After we extract the wandering MSF soldiers, we can give photos of the old MSF crew to her as she recalls those events. Ocelot and Miller state that they were able to remove both bombs, which were wrong because she died in Ground Zeroes. And they also said that the trauma triggered some amnesia, so she thinks it's 1974. This cutscene is an incredible look into Venom Snake's psyche. As we know, Venom Snake is the medic on board the chopper in Ground Zeroes, so that in the cutscene when we meet her, we see it from the medic's perspective, when he thought he got both bombs out and he thought the explosion was set off by pursuing XOF chopper. I like to think this shows both Big Boss's memories and Venom's memories mixing together. Venom thought he got both bombs out because of the guilt not saving her. Ocelot states that it's some kind of dissociative amnesia, where memories are blocked out to protect the mind, and a dissociative identity disorder, where the whole personality changes. After the last photo, we find out Paz's room never existed, and that the conversation between Ocelot, Miller and Snake wasn't real, he was hallucinating it. I like to think that when Ocelot stated both disorders, it was actually Venom coping with the fact he has both of them. His older memories as the MSF medic are no more, only the few remaining, and with Big Boss's memories transposed on him, it makes him act as if he is Big Boss. What I love is that Venom Snake represents the soldier side of Big Boss. As I stated, he only has the memories, but he doesn't have any feelings attached to them. It felt like that he was only made to be a soldier, to be a dummy, like a decoy. He never did act like the real Big Boss. In the truth tapes we can hear conversations between Ocelot and the real Big Boss, and it's obvious it's him because of how chatty he is. I say this because even though the real Big Boss is in a way more human with the way he speaks and mannerisms, he isn't human. He became a monster, disavowing the boss's ideology from Snake Eater. After Ground Zeroes he leaves. Venom Snake, who I said embodies more of Big Boss's soldier side, is in a way more human. Though he doesn't talk too much, he expresses it through his actions, reforming child soldiers and caring for his men. Venom Snake feels the guilt of killing and losing his men to the vocal cord parasite, which is shown through Venom Snake becoming Demon Snake. The real Big Boss never had any of the guilt of losing MSF. He never expressed that he missed Huey or Miller or Amanda. He gets up and leaves to Great Zanzibar Land, forgetting all that he built on Peace Walker. My personal headcanon is that he didn't even care if Huey was the traitor. In the truth tapes, the real Big Boss doesn't express any revenge for MSF. For me, MSF was another means to an end. Metal Gear Solid 5 is an amazing game, and I love the themes of race and revenge and language. It's such a unique take on these themes. Though there is very little dialogue from Venom, I understand why now. I think MGSV is best played through and understood by long-time nerds and fans of the series. MGSV was my introduction to the franchise. I barely knew anything about these games, so for when it was my first time playing it, I never understood what the game was about or what it's trying to convey. And after about 9 years I became a bit of a nerd for the franchise, and I played through it again when I first got my PC. Then it started to click into place. Even after all is done, killing his own soldiers, becoming a demon, without even knowing, Venom becomes the better of the two Big Bosses. He tries and tries, but in the end he's just another tool used by the real Big Boss and Cypher. I highly recommend you watch Futurist Sound Productions on YouTube. He's done amazing video essays on the Metal Gear Solid games, especially the Phantom Pain, and he goes into greater detail than I could about these games, so go watch him.